Yo, what's going on, guys? It is time for another reaction video, and this is going to be another one from Walter's World YouTube channel. So if you like this video, go check out his channel. It's Walter. It's WOLTERS World. I've done quite a few reactions from his channel. He's really great at putting together a good synopsis of like what an area is like, a country, a state, whatever. And since I'm from Texas, I'm in Houston, Texas myself. I saw this one just came out. And yeah, 10 things that shock tourists about Texas. So I'm curious to see how accurate he is on this one. So let's jump straight into it.
Hey there, fellow travelers, Mark here with Walter's World, and today we are here in San Antonio, Texas for 10 things that shock tourists when they come here to Texas. And I'll be honest, the first thing that shocks you when you come to Texas is how much the Texans love Texas and everything that is Texas. Whether you talk about having puffy tacos in San Antonio, whether you're talking about having a good time in Galveston, whether you're heading to the hill country for some wine, whether you're making waffles in the shape of a Texas waffle, or you have towels that say Texas proud or Texas strong, right? Or the Texas flag everywhere. Texans love Texas and everything Texas. So if you're not sure what to get your Texas friend for a gift, buy him something Texas-y.
He's not lying. It's very true. I'm wearing a Texas shirt right now, and quite often I'm wearing a Texas shirt. And the Texas waffle, man, you can't go wrong. If you want to go to any of the restaurants here in Texas, where they have kind of like a continental breakfast or something for free. Most of them, a lot of them, I should say, have those self-service waffle makers where you go pour and make your own waffle. A lot of the times they're in the shape of Texas. In my opinion, they're better because you get a little bit more waffle than you do in a traditional style waffle.
Because whether it is in their sports they love, heck, how they decorate their driveway, the ice cream, yes, you better be having your Bluebell when you're here.
Absolutely.
Going to shop at H-E-B, yes. What is Texas? They love. So don't be surprised if you're like, wow, Texans really love Texas. And when you come to Texas, you'll understand why. It's actually a really cool state to visit. But the thing is when you visit Texas, my second shock for you is the size of Texas and the size of everything in Texas. I mean, it's insane. If you drive from Galveston, which is on the Gulf Coast, to El Paso in the far west, that is 800 miles.
Which I'm about 45, 55 miles from Galveston, where I'm at. I'm in downtown Houston. Galveston is just directly south of here on I-45. So for me to get to El Paso would approximately be about that same time. It'd probably be about 12 hours.
1,300 kilometers, 12 hours straight driving, no stopping at Buc-ee's and taking in some beaver nuggets and a drink and a kolache. No, that's a straight through. That's still in the same state. I mean, it's insane the size you have in Texas. It is just an enormous state. And you have to take that in when you're here, because if you're going to visit, you may say, we're going to go see Texas. Well, you're probably going to see parts of Texas.
Yep.
Like we're on a trip now and we're doing Galveston, San Antonio, Fredericksburg, Dallas, and then headed out. Like, I'd like to go to El Paso, see our friends there. I'd like to go up to Amarillo and see, the Cadillac Ranch and stuff like that. But I only have so much time. It is a really huge state. And the thing is, it's not just the size of the state that's huge, it's also everything Texas. You know the old saying, everything's bigger in Texas? Oh, it's true. Whether it is when you're going to Whataburger and you're getting a soda there. Yeah, I think their regular is about 9 gallons of soda. I mean, it's crazy how big it is.
Their medium is the size of most places large. So if you do go to Whataburger and you get like the meal, you can stick with that medium-sized drink because it's a good-sized drink. You don't need the large. The large is massive. It's way more than you need.
Go get yourself some of that brisket when you're here at the Texas barbecue. Oh, the lines for the good barbecue places, they're Texas-sized lines. Super long, but it's Texas-sized. Good when you get that huge thing of brisket when you're here. Oh my God, it's so good. But yeah, it's going to be a lot. Those portion sizes, man, get some chicken fried steak. I mean, you'll be full for a couple days if you're not used to the portion sizes here.
You go to a chicken fried steak, get something like a Cracker Barrel or something like that. No joke, it's probably about this big. Same thing with the chicken fried chicken. It's probably like this. The steak's like this. It's bigger than the plate a lot of the time. Bigger than the actual size of the plate.
And when we're looking at big, another big I have to tell you about is the weather in Texas is just as big as the state. I mean, you will have Texas summer. I mean, I was talking to a friend of mine. We were in Galveston, and it's wintertime here, and there was nobody at the beaches, but it was still nice enough to go to because it was like in the 70s, like in the 20s Celsius. So it was nice to go to the beach too. And my friend's like, you can come back in the summer, and like mid-sentence he stops and goes, in the summer with Texas heat. Yeah, Texas heat. Yeah, I mean, I'm starting to sweat just thinking about Texas.
It's no joke. It's July right now, middle of July. It is 11 p.m. that I'm filming this, and it is just shy of 90 degrees outside right now at 11 o'clock at night. So yeah, it's definitely hot in Texas, especially here in the Houston area. When you mix the heat along with the humidity, it's like even hotter.
I mean, it is really bad. July and August here is like super big heat, so just be prepared for that. That's why Texas is great to visit all year round. I mean, we're here in the winter and it's gorgeous. I mean, it's wonderful, and yes, I'm still getting some sun, and I'm actually wearing shorts and a t-shirt, but it's nice. There is one big weather thing I think you really need to realize is the bigness of the destruction that tornadoes can have here. So if we do hear a tornado siren, make sure you do seek shelter if you are here during tornado season. If it's hurricane season, you're down by Houston and stuff, I mean, you do need to pay attention to those things.
Where I'm at in the Houston area, it's more so the hurricanes and less likely the tornadoes. We don't really get too much tornadoes around here. I guess it could happen every now and then, but I can't even really remember any tornadoes, and I've lived here my whole life. Hurricanes, on the other hand, I've gone through quite a few of those, but the tornadoes are probably a little bit more in the northern region than down here in Houston,
because it can be rather dangerous. So do have a heads up, because Texas weather is really big, but it does make it great so you can visit the beaches in Corpus Christi any time of the year. And the thing is, I'm talking about all these different parts of Texas and all these driving you're going to do, and it's a big place, and what could make big drives actually okay, and that's my next shot for you.
Buc-ee's.
And that is the first time you go into one of the big Buc-ee's. If you're not sure what Buc-ee's is, it's actually a gas station chain. They have smaller ones, but if you're on like I-10, like there's one in New Braunfels between San Antonio and Austin, I mean, it's just huge. I mean, it's like, I like to say it's a Texas Target, and a Texas-sized gas station had a baby, but the baby was a really big baby, and they made Buc-ee's.
It's basically the Walmart size of a gas station. Like there's 100 pumps, literally. They hold the record for the longest, biggest car wash at a gas station. Buc-ee's are generally between the biggest stretch of road, but they're also in, like, for instance, I'm in Houston, and we have a handful of them throughout the city, but most of them are on the outskirts of the city, or they're going to be like halfway between, like here in Austin. I did a video reaction recently to the YouTube channel Jolly, where they're British guys, and it was their first time visiting a Buc-ee's, so you might want to go check that one out. But yeah, they have everything you can imagine in a Buc-ee's. They produce all sorts of their own foods, snacks, drinks. They got all kinds of shop, like merch type stuff. But what they really became famous for was their clean restrooms. And so when you go in, and you go in, men's typically to the right, women's to the left, and then you go in there, there's usually like 40 or 50 stalls or urinals or whatever you want to call it on both sides.
It has amazing food inside. Yes, you'll have freshly cut brisket sandwiches that are fantastic from there. You'll get cinnamon rolls about this big. But most important thing is, you'll be surprised how much you love beaver nuggets when you go there. I actually buy a big thing of them and give them as gifts for Christmas because, oh my God, beaver nuggets are so good. But you're surprised like how huge this thing is. But I mean, that is Texas. But what shocks people is how clean the bathrooms are. Yep. I mean, you talk to Texans anywhere around the country and you talk about Buc-ee's, like, oh yeah, clean toilets, totally clean toilets. They are. I mean, it's shockingly clean. Like, oh, I have no problem sending my kids in the bathroom to go by themselves and go pee, go do whatever you need to do. No problem, because it's super clean. And it really shocks people that, yes, you can have super clean, super awesome bathrooms, and that'll be awesome. And it's a tourist place to check out when you're here in Texas. So go to Buc-ee's. Now, my next shot for you is breakfast tacos. Look, when you come to Texas, you have to realize is that
Torchy's Tacos, which is where they're having this, is one of my favorite places to grab tacos. It originally started in Austin as a taco truck and has since spread all throughout the state. And it's even beyond Texas now. I think it's in Colorado and a few other places. But the tacos have funny names. They have an off menu as well. but they're really big too. So some people will be like, oh, it's overpriced because it's a couple dollars per taco, but you really only end up needing 2 or 3 tacos total to get full. And their queso for me, and I've eaten a lot of queso at a lot of restaurants, and Torchy's queso is my absolute favorite one.
Breakfast in Texas means breakfast tacos, and they are phenomenal. Whether you're having with chorizo and potatoes, or you're having it with eggs and cactus, or you're having it with eggs and bacon, or whatever, it is just, oh my God, they're so good. And I know a lot of people, when you think of breakfast in America, you think, oh, waffles. Well, you can have a waffle shaped like Texas. Okay, there is that. But usually people think, oh, bacon and eggs, and you have pancakes and toast. That's American breakfast. But the Texas breakfast is definitely the breakfast taco. And you know, if you're going around the US, not everywhere, like California's got good breakfast tacos too, but if you're going to other places, you think, oh, tacos start at noon and they go later. No, here you will have crazy awesome tacos for breakfast. And the thing is, you'll find a local place, maybe it's a gas station that has a little taqueria on the side of it, or just another taco place like just Taco Haven right here next to me.
So speaking of Torchy's, and he mentioned tacos with potatoes and things like that. I'm allergic to eggs, and so my counter to eggs is usually to have sausage and potato and cheese versus sausage, egg, and cheese. Unless it's changed recently, Torchy's does not actually offer that. That was one thing I am a little bit let down with them. I think they only have beans as their alternative. So if you're looking for good breakfast tacos, and you can eat eggs, then yeah, by all means go to Torchy's. But if you can't have eggs for some reason, then you might want to try some other spots. And then it's not all just about breakfast tacos. Kolaches is actually a really big thing here too. So go to Kolache Factory, go to Shipley's Donuts and get some kolaches. And then donuts, if you're in Houston or in Texas, Shipley's Donuts. Don't listen to anybody telling you Krispy Kreme or Dunkin' Donuts is better. No, the answer is no. Shipley's Donuts is the best. Shipley's, fresh out of the, now you got to make sure you get the fresh glazed donuts from the back, right out of the oven, soft, melt in your mouth, ooey gooey, like glazed donuts are amazing. So yeah, so it's not just the breakfast tacos. You got to try the kolaches, and you got to try donuts. Specifically, go to Shipley's Donuts. You won't regret it.
You just go, grab some, and enjoy and love it. And I will give a shout out to Torchy's Tacos in Austin. That was our favorite place to get breakfast tacos. It's kind of a chainy kind of thing, but it was really good. But honestly, anywhere you go in Texas, you just go get your breakfast tacos. You'll be shocked how much you love it. And I think since that's a food one, I should probably go into another shock about the food here in Texas, and that is how your Tex-Mex and barbecue experience will change you. Look, when you come eating in Texas, it's not just the portion sizes, it's the fantastic food. And the barbecue here, the barbecue briskets, that's what you're gonna get here when you come here to Texas, is phenomenal. And it kind of makes you rejudge all other barbecue places you go to when it comes to brisket, but also the Tex-Mex is here. And what shocks people is they don't realize is that Tex-Mex food is different than Mexican food. And they're like, wait a minute, this isn't Mexican food. No, it's not. It's Tex-Mex. And that kind of shocks people when they come here.
You got that right. And I like traditional Mexican food, but I definitely love my Tex-Mex as well. And when I've traveled to other places throughout the country, and I'm looking for something similar to what we have here as far as Tex-Mex, I've yet to find it in any other state so far.
Now, my next shot for you when you come here to Texas, if you travel around, you'll be shocked how diverse the state is. Look, there's swamps in Texas. There's desert in Texas. There's hill country right here where you go around.
I thought he was talking about diverse of culture, but yeah, this is true as well.
You have the coast with the beautiful beaches. I mean, Texas is so diverse in its geography and its topography when you're here. And I know a lot of us, when we think of Texas, we think of the old Westerns, right? And what you have to realize is the old Westerns, that's not all Texas. Yes, Texas is hot and there are some dry parts, but if you're going to El Paso, you'll definitely get the desert feel. Believe me, you'll have that there. But if you're going to like Fredericksburg and you're going to the hill country, or if you're going up to Dallas with all the lakes that are up around there, or going to Galveston or Corpus Christi, South Padre Island, and having the beaches, you have all this diversity that's here in the state that you realize that, wow, Texas really is different. I mean, driving to Fredericksburg in the hill country from here, it's like an hour and a half drive from where we are, and you're just like, wow, I'm in a completely different place. And I think my little experience with random people from here in San Antonio coming up and saying hi while I'm filming really represents the next shock of coming to Texas. And that is how friendly, how nice, and how upstanding the people are here in Texas. I mean, when you go around, that Texas pride they have about their state, they're going to tell you where to go, where to eat, what to see, what to do, all those things. And they'll give you the little hints as well. Oh, but get this taco when you're there. Get this when you're there. Oh, ask them to like do this. Check them out. Like,
Absolutely true. I live in downtown Houston, and even before I was living downtown, anywhere I'm at, if I see somebody that looks like maybe they're visiting and lost or just trying to figure things out, I always step in and offer to help point them in the right direction or give them suggestions. Rodeo is something that's really big here, and since I live downtown now, I was able to take the metro rail into the stadium where they host the rodeo. And while I was waiting, I met two women who were visiting from Tennessee, I believe, and they had never been to Houston, let alone the rodeo, and they were just really trying to take it all in. And I ended up giving them a whole list, and it was funny because they actually got their phone out and they were making notes of all the places I was suggesting to go, the things to eat, the restaurants to check out, what nightlife to see. Yeah, because I want to make sure that if people come here, they have a good impression of our state, of our city.
the people that help here, the guy was telling me, he's like, oh, they make really cool t-shirts. You can get that too. You have all this amazing personality in Texas. I know people talk about big Texas and big people in Texas and loud and boisterous, but they're loud, boisterous, fun, and friendly. And that's what shocks people when they come here. Like, wow, Texas people really are Texas people, because Texas people really have never met someone they haven't wanted to talk to and make sure they enjoy this state. So definitely you will meet some locals when you are here and you will have a good time meeting them. But honestly, people from Texas, my buddy Mark and Ronnie and Ann and everybody have just been, Terry, all the Texans we met, Billy and Jim Van Cleve, and all the great Texans we met over the years. Jen, oh my gosh, so many great Texans have shown us the state and helped us enjoy it. I just want to say thank you to all of you and all the other Texans that have helped us on our trip. You're awesome. And for travelers coming here, you'll be shocked how much you're going to love the Texans when you do come.
If you want to see that wall, it is in Austin, and it is off of South Congress, if it still exists. But that's where I know of it from. I think a few other people have copied this wall in other cities, but the original that I'm aware of is off of South Congress in Austin, not far from probably that tour TC went to.
And the next shock I have for you is with those Texas people is how much they love football. And the thing is, it's all kinds of football. Yes, it is, if you like the Friday Night Lights high school football stuff, I know it sounds corny and cheesy, but people love football. They'll go watch the high school games, the college game. Yeah, hook 'em horns, right? You got the University of Texas, you got SMU, you've got so many colleges. Texas A&M is probably the better one right now, but don't tell people that out loud. But you have Texas Tech. I have to give a shout out to Texas Tech because some of my good friends graduated from there. But people really love football when you're here. And yes, their professional teams on Sundays aren't doing so well. Houston, we don't really talk about the Texans. I mean, the Cowboys, you gotta love the Cowboys.
Unfortunately, the Houston Texans aren't always doing so great, and we don't talk about the Cowboys here. It doesn't even matter if they have a better season than the Texans. The Cowboys, we just don't talk about that. They don't exist. I say that jokingly because I'm actually not even very much into sports at all. I don't really watch any sports on television. If somebody offers me free tickets to go to a game live, I'll take them up on it and go. But you're never going to see me sitting around on a couch watching a football game. But that's just me. It is like, he's not wrong in saying that football is very ingrained in the culture here in Texas. It is. So people who do enjoy sports and do enjoy football, we do have a big scene for it here. Even though the Texans don't do that well, I think we sell out pretty much of every single game is a sold out game, just about. The local, whenever we have a game here locally, the tailgating here is a huge deal. So yeah, we definitely have a football culture here. It does exist. It is huge. It's just not something that really interests me personally.
Cowboys when you are here. And one of the things that's funny is you might be shocked is you can do a tour at Jerry World, AT&T Stadium in Dallas, and it's huge. I mean, it's huge. I mean, it's Texas, so it has to be huge. But that love affair of football and sports and just outdoorsiness and everything is just really a part of Texas that'll shock you. Like, wow, football and outdoors and all this stuff is true Texas, all right? And then I think I need to talk about, if we're talking about the people, we need to have this shock. And this shock is how fast everyone drives in Texas. I mean, you need to be ready when you come to Texas for the speed, because yeah, the speed limit's 75. You know, sometimes on the back highways, I'm like, what? The back roads? See, kind of highways? That's kind of weird at 75, and people are flying all over the place on the highway. I mean, I still remember my first trip to Texas. We were driving from Springfield, Illinois to Nuevo Laredo. And my dad and I were switching back and forth. And at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm driving through Dallas, getting through the Metroplex. I'm driving in, and I might be going like 75, something like that. And this is back in the day, so I don't know if 75 was the speed limit back then. And I look in the back mirror and I see this light, and this Lamborghini goes right by me. I mean, it was just like a normal thing, you know.
Even when the speed limit's not 75, the speed limit's 75. All jokes aside, I'm not encouraging people to break the law, but yeah, here in general, if you're going on the freeways, even if this posted speed limit is 60, generally the people on the left are going to be going 80, maybe even upwards of 85 or 90. Again, I'm not saying that's what you should be doing. I'm just saying it's what happens. And then there are some stretches of the road that I believe between Austin and San Antonio, there's some stretches I believe that the speed limit is 80 or 85, and up in El Paso area too. So yeah, we do have some high speed limit areas, but most of those areas that do have the really high speed limit, like the actual posted speed limit is that high, is because the traffic is not that bad and it's long stretches of road most of the time.
But you got to be ready for the fast drive when you are here. And also you'll be shocked is when there is road construction, how like tight they make the roads on there. So it can be a little stressful, especially if you're driving at night. So do have a heads up for it, because you might be shocked. Oh my God, what am I going to do? And the short on and off ramps. Yeah, that's another one that might shock you when you are driving here.
I'm curious to know where he may have experienced the short on and off ramps, because I know at least here in the Houston area, we have some like really good on-off ramps in most areas. There are a few of them here and there that they might be short, but for the most part, we even have those crazy ones that are like almost its own lane, and you go on quite a ways before you even tie into the regular part of the freeway or highway. So my guess is that it's probably some older stretches of freeway or highway that he's experienced that, or maybe some of the smaller towns. But I don't know for sure, because he didn't mention Houston. He's basically said San Antonio and Dallas throughout most of this. I think San Antonio might have a few of those short entrance and exit areas, and maybe even Austin. But Houston's pretty solid. We have really good freeways here.
But with a state this big, you're going to have to drive a lot, so be ready for it when you do come. So I hope you enjoyed my 10 things that shock tourists when they come here to Texas. There's obviously a lot more wonderful things, and maybe not so wonderful things that might shock when you come here. Let us know what shocks you about Texas in the comments below, so we can learn more about this great state. And if you want to learn more about visiting Texas, we've got the don'ts of Texas, what to eat in Texas, and all kinds of other great stuff on our website at waltersworld.com. Or if you go below in the information down below, you can actually click on the links and see some more videos on this beautiful state of Texas.
Yeah, like I said, his Facebook, I'm sorry, his YouTube is Walters World, and then he said waltersworld.com if you want to see some of that stuff he mentioned. I do encourage you to go check out his content. He puts out really, really good content, and it allows me to be able to create videos like this. Comment below if you guys have questions on anything regarding Texas, if you're considering visiting here. If you have some questions about certain areas, things like that, I'm happy to answer any questions you might have, but I may not have every answer you're looking for. And if you've ever visited Texas, maybe comment below, let me know where you visited and what your experience was like. Yeah, so we'll wrap it here. If you want to see more from me, please subscribe, click the bell so you'll get notified every time I upload a new video. Do give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. It does help. And stick around to the end of the video, and they'll have some playlists. You can check out some of my other content, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.